Hello everyone, this is Bishu. Welcome to another episode of After the Match presented by HEB. Today, as usual, we have Jake, Junk, and we have Merritt as our guest. Let's get right to it. First question to Jake. Favorite go-to salad?
Favorite salad? I don't know. I think salads, you just put whatever things you like in them, you know? So I don't think of it as like one thing. I just buy the sort of vegetables and stuff that I like. I like to put like, I don't like dressing very much. So I like to put like either like berries or some kind of fruit in the salad.
No vinaigrette or anything like
that?
Well,
I'll put a little on, but I only like, I really don't like too much. I really won't like the salad. There's too much. So I like to have like other things that add the flavor, you know, rather than a bunch of dressing. So
I eat salad for the ranch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think they have some of these like Oriental like sesame dressing that are. It's like I'm mainly like the rest of the vegetable is like for that are like vessel, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's just me though. I'm not a salad guy.
I will say I like spinach. Spinach is my base of choice.
No, Merritt, do you like salad? Nah, didn't think so. We're a no veggie house in here. All right, what are the team's thoughts on Kiriko, Jung?
Kiriko? I don't know. We'll have to see in the scripts.
Yeah.
I don't guess. I'm always wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like some things are really strong. Like her ult is really strong, and maybe her like weapon damage dealing is really strong if people are going to be consistent at hitting headshots. So maybe it will be really good. But like Junk said, like there's no way to really tell.
I mean, you play Kiriko a little bit, right? Like how does her like kunais feel? The right clicks?
It feels strong, but it is inconsistent because you really have to hit the head because like unlike most heroes, since the scaling is so much different.
Yeah.
So just a question, like if people are playing really fast comps where it's hard to like aim well and hit headshots on people, then the hero's gonna feel like really hard to play. But if people, you know, maybe people are just gonna be good enough to be consistent with her. I don't really play that much. I played her like one game because I don't really play support.
Yeah.
So I just, you know, don't queue for it, and I just play ranked anyway. So I'm just playing DPS and tank. So I honestly don't know. I think it'll just depend on how it feels to the supports, especially like if it feels strong or not.
Yeah.
If people can use her really well or not.
I think creative is on a little bit of a hopium right now. He's saying that it's like so fun, so broken, blah blah blah. But I don't know. Like I honestly don't know.
The ult does seem super strong.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
태야, 너는 어떻게 생각해? 키리코? 좋은 거 같아? 아니면은 아직 모르겠어?
아직은 별로 안 좋은 것 같아요.
Yeah. So Merritt doesn't think he's like good yet, but you know, we'll just have to see. We did have like a pretty banger tweet afterwards though, like the what was it?
Oh
the
yeah,
short? The short was like very good. I like the short.
I mean, the shorts are always good, man.
Yeah,
There's just a quality bar that they're so consistent with. It's just been a long time, so it's awesome to see that they're still putting that same level of effort in and still making this like incredible world building stuff. It really adds a lot, I think, to the franchise.
Definitely can always rely on the Blizzard cinematic team. Next questions to the coaches. Why are some teams so dominant on push maps in comparison to other game modes? What do you think, Jung?
It's probably not just because it's push. It's probably just some teams are better in that map. I would say it's just something like that.
Yeah, I don't even think of it that way. Like no one comes to mind who's like a good push team but not as good at other maps, or vice versa. Like I don't.
I guess the question came from, you know how like some teams are like really dominant in Koth. Like I guess like it was like similar, but I think like push is like a little bit too. It doesn't have like the same dynamic like a Koth does. So.
I do think you need like strong individual players to do well on push the same way Koth is, where there's a lot more. There's just a higher occurrence of like low ult fights or pick fights where individual stuff matters. You know, it's less like set piece defense and like an offense trying to retake, where that's like really common on escort and hybrid. So I think maybe the big for map push is more like Koth in the sense it's like more individual heavy. Like if your players can't, if you don't have a Sojourn as good as Merritt, you know, you're gonna have a hard time. So
hey, our Sojourn guy, always reliable. And so Dante like kind of exposed this one. So Dante mentioned that Outlaws changed comp during warm-ups before the battle for Texas. Can you elaborate a little more about that?
It's okay. It's the Houston Outlaws. We have a long and storied history of changing the comps.
We saw BAP good, so we use BAP.
Yes, BAP good. We play BAP.
Yeah. In the end, you have to follow like what feels right in the moment, you know. And if we're in our preparation, even though we didn't practice that much BAP, it's like, man, BAP is starting to look really good. You know, maybe we were kind of baited because we beat Paris pretty easily, and they were playing the BAP, so we probably thought, oh, like it's not that good, like we beat it so easily. But in the end, I think we kind of just like player gap Paris, so it was good that we were like willing to like try it in the end. It felt you know, this might be the strongest comp, so in the end, I'm really happy we were able to beat Fuel on the Mirror in a comp that like they're more specialized in. I think it showed that our guys
the comp
did really
they
well.
made basically.
Yeah, exactly. It was like sort of like a crazy thing to do in the sense a lot of, you know, I would normally think like a team that specializes in a comp, you don't want to mirror them, you want to play
It's very scary.
your heroes and like not, and they're practicing it, but in the end maybe they like overthought it. Maybe us just playing naturally and playing comfortably, like we put up really good results. The guys played really, really well, so you know, in the end I think that was the deciding factor.
Because we have merit, we win.
Yeah. Just pray the Church of Merit, and you're good to go. All your dreams will come true. Plan A, baby. Outlaws are officially locked in for playoffs for the first time in 5 seasons. Woo! What do you all credit when making the difference this year over the previous years?
Our players are really good this year, better than they've ever been before.
Last year was good too. I think it's just, I mean, more teams got into playoffs this year, so I mean, I guess format helps.
Yeah, that is true. I think
if the format was like same as last year, we would have made it last year too. Yeah, it would have been like that actually.
Yeah, we did well last year too. I think this year is still like, I think we've had continuous improvement as the franchise. Like, well, not over the whole history of the franchise, but over the last 2 years. Like, I think last year was our best year yet. And I think this year is still a little bit better than last year. Yeah. Although not like, I mean, not drastic. We did like okay last year, but so we've definitely like over the last 2 years had consistent improvement. So it doesn't feel like a surprise or a shock, even though it's been a long time coming. Yeah. For the fans, it's like, okay, like, you know, this is the result of the work we've been putting in over the last 2 years.
Do the guys feel like they perform better in front of a crowd, especially after their second win against Dallas?
That's a question for Merritt, maybe.
Yeah. So Merritt's an interesting one because in our first battle for Texas, it was like his like he did play LANs before in Korea, but it was like the first LAN here. It was like a big crowd, to be honest. It was a big crowd, and he popped off. Like he like popped off. It's hard to do, I feel like, in your like first real LAN.
No, I think it's different. It's like it's not about your first. I don't see it that way. I see there's just players who like pop off in those environments, and there's players who don't. And like if you don't pop off on your first one, this like sounds bad to say, but you're just probably not a player who's gonna like pop off. Like you might do fine on LAN, but some players like actually go to like the next level in that environment, and it's not just like doing the same as normal. It's like they're
thrive
even better.
On that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you either thrive on the adrenaline and thrive on the intensity, or you're like trying to stay, you know, keep pace with it. And I feel we have a lot of players who thrive in it, which is like lucky for us, good for us.
So I remember doing an interview after the first battle for Texas for the Dallas guys. Was kind of awkward, but I was like, especially with the questions that they made me ask, I'm like, like Rush did not look happy. I was like, fuck. But I just remember their players were like really nervous. Like they even in the interview they were like nervous and they were like shaking. So I guess we just had the LAN players that day, and the recent one too. 이제 그 뭐지? 너 개인적으로 태민이는 그 경기할 때 이제 온라인으로 하는 경기가 더 잘하는 것 같아, 아니면 이제 오프라인 경기가 더 잘하는 것 같아?
잘하는 거요?
어느 게 좀 더 솔직히 막 그런 사람들 있잖아. 막 그 오프라인 경기가 못하는 서 약간 긴장해가지고 못하는 사람들 있잖아. 근데 너는 이제 솔직히 오프라인 경기 할 때마다 잘했거든, 어떡하지? 거의?
둘 다 그냥 비슷한 것 같은데.
That doesn't matter for merit.
No, that's what Atlanta would say.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people, oh well, you know, in front of a crowd, I just try to stay calm. And no, they're the same.
Like,
it means it doesn't mean anything. Yep. That's what I want to hear as a coach. It's a good answer.
Merit's got ice in his veins for sure. So how does it feel beating the #1 seeded Dallas Fuel again before the playoffs, Junk?
Good.
Very short and concise.
It's nice to get a win over our rivals,
at the end of the
especially
day,
in Texas.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But since like we're in the playing in front of the fans, it mattered. So it's good that we won when we were playing in front of the fans.
Jung, did you not hear the crowd when we were coming out?
No.
Okay, they were booing us hella hard.
Oh really?
Yeah, they were like booing us like so hard, and like our players were like, what the
Actually,
they got so quiet when the series went on. It's weird.
Yeah.
For the LAN, I don't like going on the stage actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just stay in the what was it? The grand finals for the season two, the Z on stage thing. It's like I didn't even watch it too.
Yeah. I don't know. What I try to do now, like as a coach, is like just be on the stage of the players and just like, I don't know. Usually the players don't really need anything, but just being around and like talking with them and giving them something else to think about rather than like the crowd or like think like just because I think Merritt's perspective is the best one where you just don't think about it too much. The energy will come to you naturally. It's not, you don't have to like focus on the fact that there's a crowd, and if you do, in the end that'll just be a distraction. So maybe just to make the guys like comfortable and give them something else to think about, I'll talk with them and joke with them when we're getting ready.
Yeah, I mean, Jake, you and I both have like played, but I feel like once you're in, you don't. It's like so easy to tune out. I feel like you like if you like there are some like downtimes where you will hear like the like the bass of it and everything, but I feel like once you're in, when you're in, it's like kind of hard to like notice it because you're like so focused on like what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't think you notice the crowd directly. I think but you just kind of feel the energy. Like you hear the only time you can really hear the crowd is when they're like roaring. So that's usually like after a big play happens or something. So I think that's the big thing is there's a lot of like momentum can be like a bigger effect in front of a crowd because not only is it when you're making a big play, the crowd roars and you feel like really good and really excited, you want to keep doing it. But also if the enemy team is like beating you down and they're making good plays on you and then you can feel like some people can feel demoralized, I guess, from the crowd getting excited for that. So I guess it's like I think you don't notice the crowd, but you feel the energy that the crowd puts out. Like it's more of a general thing rather than like specifically anything that's going on in the crowd. That all like gets blurred out.
I just remember after the match, Pelican said he was like really, really like satisfied to hear the crowd being quiet after they won. Let's see. Who do you guys think should win MVP? Personally.
That's a good one.
I have a hot take. I think a lot of the MVP candidates were poorly chosen this year. How do they choose the candidates? I understand the voting process, like the way
probably Blizzard.
But the Blizzard just picks the candidate. I think there's a lot of like obviously all the players who are picked are like good players.
Yeah,
great
I think
players,
half of them are good. Half of okay. First of all, there's too many candidates. Half of them just get rid of the
exactly. Like really, some of the people it's like they're like players that a lot of people love. They're really good at their role, but they're not most valuable player in the league candidates for me.
Okay, I can choose. There's 3 candidates. Hanbin, Proper, Shu. That's the only 3 candidates. None of them should be candidates.
What about APAC though? Because I would say like I don't follow APAC.
None of them deserve to be.
Wow, not even like
shit, we're already doing hot takes.
That's a hot take.
Only those 3 should be candidates.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing like Prophet as a candidate or something like that.
Profit? No, I don't see him as an MVP. They don't win because of Profit. Like Smurf also does well, and
I do think if
anything, Smurf has the same weight as Profit. For
That's the hard thing with that team is that they're both so critical to the team. But I don't. Yeah, the thing about for me, I think MVP, it has to be Proper. For me, it has to be Proper because. It's just different. It's like he's on like it's like obvious that they're playing 4 players to support one. It's like obvious that
Shu carries all the glads. The stage championship. Hanbin carried their championship. Shock didn't win any championship yet, so everybody. I think those 3.
Those are fair. Those
are like the players that actually super. Without them, they couldn't have won those.
I certainly agree with that. Like for Dallas Hanbin, like without Hanbin on the queen, he was just different. He was like on the best queen by far on the whole league. Like no one's close.
It was pretty dominant.
So for someone like that, it's hard. I mean, I think the thing about Shu is I feel like supports like it's so hard to win. Like Jonak was MVP, right? But Jonak was like a very perfect storm for support to be MVP. Like Jonak's like a really good Ana player. Like maybe a lot of people don't know that he's like a really good Ana player, but everyone knows him as like the Zen god because he played in like Mercy Hard Pockets, the Zen meta. And then it was just him being a god was like they played around him to make him. To like it's the way Overwatch is, right? Like you kind of have to pick who you want to play around. So for someone like Shu, he's carrying, but it's so hard to see unless you like really understand the game well because it's like he's playing on it, he's keeping everyone alive really well, and he's like finding good nades, and he also like makes big plays. But a lot of what he does is just like super consistent, stable play. It's really valuable to your team, but it's hard to like. It's like if the people you're keeping alive aren't playing well, it doesn't matter. Like you can't win. So in a way, it's like it's just a curse of the role. It's like you can't be MVP on Lucio. Like I'm sorry, you just can't be MVP on Lucio. It doesn't happen.
For me, how I see
Like-
it is like Olio also replaceable. We're glad to have one. If like for example, if Pelly played instead of Capster, I think they still would have won. But no, if you
Who
play,
else could they have gotten on a?
yeah, instead of
yeah,
Shield, and then none of them would have won.
Yeah, that's
Only-
a good point.
Only Shield would have won,
That's
and
a
then
good
the
point.
proper only the proper would have won all those games in shock, and
Yeah.
then only Hannim would have.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
no other things would have won the games for them.
Yeah, the player that has like the
Yeah.
highest. In baseball, I think the stat is like value over replacement or something like that, like runs over replacement. That's like a big stat in baseball. So it's like you compare to not just like what the player does, but if you replace them with like an average player with another player, how much does that cost the team?
Right.
And I think that's kind of what you're getting at, Junk, where those are the players where it just doesn't feel that they could be replaced. Like there's no one else out there who can fill those shoes. Yeah, I agree with those.
태현이 너는 이제 MVP 누가 이겼으면 누가 이길 것 같아? 누가 이제 MVP 자격을 가졌나? 한 명 딱 고른다면.
프로퍼.
Proper? Oh, that was quick. So Merit thinks like
Crawford is a man after my own heart, you know? Yeah. Merritt agrees.
Which Outlaws player do you think was the most snubbed out of the MVP nomination?
MVP nomination.
I mean, it's gotta be Merritt or Pelly, right?
Yeah, probably.
I'll say just Rookie of the Year, Rob. Other than that, I think only those three should be counted.
Oh shit! Cover your ears, Merit.
Wow. Wow. I mean, to be fair though, I think it is like to Junk's point that like we're a team that I don't think we like hardcore play for one player.
That is true.
Like we're
Yeah.
playing around like we have like a lot of strong players and we play to like all their different strengths in like different situations. And I think those teams that Junk mentioned are like they play for the MVP
Yeah.
candidate,
Wait,
right? Like
is Merit not on Rookie of the Year candidate?
Rookie of the Year.
I don't know if there are candidates for Rookie of the Year.
I think everyone's.
Yeah, I think
it's-
it's all-
you vote
everyone.
everyone.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
I remember
okay.
in the voting thing, like everyone was there.
Yeah, I think all
we
rookie.
just- we
I think
couldn't vote. We couldn't vote,
MVP
no.
and Roll Star are like the only ones that are like specific candidates that are like selected, and rookie is just since there's not that many rookies, it's just all the rookies.
And for all of us, do you guys think that Merit is underrated or properly rated by the larger OWL community? If you are all able to make a good playoff run, do you think Merit is a reasonable Rookie of the Year candidate? Okay, so it's like a kind of like relevant to what we were just talking about.
Yeah, it's underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's still underrated? Because I feel like more.
I think people know Merit's really good.
Yeah, people have been
so-
like really
Yeah,
like.
so I guess it's getting there now. I guess.
Yeah. But before earlier, like definitely, I think.
especially before the year, he was so underrated.
Yeah, for sure. For Merit, did the win over SF Shock mean anything to you, anything more to you, since you and Pelican were able to outperform your former DPS partners in Kilo and Proper? Or was it just another win? 이제 너한테 하는 질문인데 이제 쇼크 상대를 이긴 게 큰 그 뜻이 있었냐? 이제 너희 그 뭐지 너랑 세연이가 이제 너랑 같이 하던 딜러들을 이제 이겼는데 뭐 큰 감흥이 있었냐?
그냥 저번 대회 때 계속 만났을 때부터 졌어가지고 그냥 이번에 이겼어가지고 그냥 기분이 좋았던 것 같아요.
복수한 거에 더
네.
의미가 있다.
Yeah. So before when we like were meeting with like SF Shock, like we did lose quite a few times. So to him this was like a very meaningful revenge match. So yes, it did mean a lot. Who keeps the team together mentally?
Mentally,
I'm gonna say it's our support. I think it's creative last
creative.
year. I think creative is like the best. Yeah, I think it's creative
Yeah,
actually.
Creative was like
Creative, like-
surprisingly,
Well, yeah, bringing creative in the team, he's been really awesome. I mean, like I think everyone knows he's like an individually really good player. That's something you can easily see from the outside. But then on like internal team stuff, he's like an incredibly positive guy. Really brings like a great mentality to the team. Exactly the person, like the type of player you love to see bringing into the team. Yeah, so I think Creative's like the heart of our team. Even though we just brought him in, he just like slotted right in as the heart of our team.
yeah, it
It's
is
pretty
interesting
cool.
because like even outside the game, he was able to be like really good friends. Like he got like in very good friendly terms with everyone. And
I mean, I think Creative's the type of guy that like everybody likes. You know, like
yeah.
he just has that personality where like super
Yeah.
easy to get along with. Like if somebody doesn't get along with creative, it's probably they're the problem. Honestly, like he's that type of guy.
Yeah.
Like other players like Lep and Doge are like really good too, but since creative is the one playing right now.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's true. Lep and Doge both have good mentality, good attitude.
Yeah.
For Jake, you've been a part of this team from the beginning and have seen it change and grow. How does it feel to finally be a part of season finals, not just play-ins?
Yeah, it means a lot to me. I was thinking about this a little bit. I feel I'm at a place now where things have changed so much for me personally along the way.
Yeah.
So my perspective is really different than it was when I was like playing, or even last year when I was like, you know, half playing. Now it's not really about me anymore. For a long time, it was like, I want to win. I want to be the champion. That's like the mindset of a player, which is good. And so I don't like think it's a bad thing if players are focused on like, I want to get the wins, you know, like, cause in the end, they're the one who has to go out there and play.
Yeah.
So they need to have that like confidence that they're the one to do it. But now I feel more like I'm doing it. I'm like, my work is about other people. It's not about me anymore. It's about helping like lifting other people up. So that's kind of what it means to me now to like make playoffs now. It's like, I'm happy, but it's not about me or like, oh, I've had such a long journey to make playoffs. It's like these guys here with me. I want to see them win and succeed, and making playoffs is just part of that. It's part of that journey. And it's what I want to like get them the best results, you know, for them. So in a way, that's like things have changed a lot for me, like personally over the years. And now I feel I'm just really happy. I don't think about the fact that I didn't make playoffs before. That like doesn't seem important now.
Yeah.
It just seems important that like with these guys, I want to see them, you know, win every match.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And we got the hot takes. Let's starting with Junk. Best candy of all time.
Candy.
Best candy of all time. 이제 이거
No, I used to think about candies a lot before, but now I rarely eat candy now actually.
Yeah, for sure.
When I was young, I guess I liked Kit Kat, Crunch, those kind of stuff. I never really liked the peanut candies actually, like a Snickers or something. So I don't know actually. Kit Kat.
I don't like
know.
Snickers either.
Reese's.
Snickers
I
is
don't
like,
know.
it's like super basic. Like,
Yeah, I don't like the
Crazy
candy bars that have like too much caramel in them. It just feels like I don't like caramel actually that much. I mean, like it's fine as a flavor, but yeah, just the texture is like too sticky for me.
it's a carcinogen, I think, as well.
Is it?
Fuckers, Yeah.
No, really?
Yeah, caramel. I think I'm pretty sure it's carcinogen.
Well, no.
너 타이야, 너 좋아하는 막 사탕 같은 거 있어요? 그 막 그냥 불량식품 중에서 간식 중에서 좋아하는 거. 한국 거도.
chupa-chups.
Oh, okay. So wait, it's just called Chupa Chups in here too, right? It's like the those like lollipops.
I don't know what it's called in America.
Like those
actually.
lollipop
They
hard
have
candies.
it.
Yeah, it's like I think it's also called Chupa Chups, but in Korea it's like pretty famous. It's pretty popular. I remember like it was always like the go-to snack. Like if you go to like academies or like school, if you do good work, they'll give you like Chupa Chups.
Is it not called Chupa Chups?
I don't even know.
So
what you're talking about.
so they don't know that.
No,
Wait,
Jake,
what?
No, Jake knows what it is. Jake
Yeah,
knows
so
what
it's probably called something
I'm
else.
looking it up right now. If I see a picture of it, I can tell you.
Yeah,
probably.
the second you see the rapper,
do I-
you'll
how
The
do I
rap
rapping
pronounce
is
it?
like that.
iconic.
Or how do you spell it?
CHU.
Chupa Chups.
Yeah. I actually
Chupa
don't know how you
Chups.
spell that.
It's a Spanish brand of lollipop. Is this the right logo?
Yeah, that's the one.
You
Yeah,
see,
I mean I don't know this. though.
really? I feel like I seen it like when I first went to Canada too.
Oh really? The America don't have this?
I mean, this looks like.
They were like really cheap if you go to like candy convenience stores and shit.
It looks like the Tootsie Pops.
Okay, well Tootsie. Don't compare those. Don't compare those two.
Is
Come on.
it like a better one? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's the candy. It looks similar to
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
it
candy.
does.
That's what I'd be more familiar with, in the same context.
Oh,
Yeah.
lollipop reminds me. You know, I actually used to like candies a lot when I was a kid. The ring pop.
Oh.
And then like
I love the sour
the
candy so
foot,
much.
Foot thing. What's
Yeah,
the
no,
thing?
fruit by the
Fruit by the
fruit.
foot?
Yeah,
Fruit by the
I
foot.
like those.
Yeah.
No, I used to like candies a lot as a kid. I don't know why. I
Yeah.
stopped.
I think I got ulcerative colitis with all with all these like bad like junk food over the years. God, I used to like just not eat meals. All my calories were from like junk food or like candy. It was
Actually,
bad.
when I first came to America, there was like a 7-Eleven and nearby, and
Did
then
you like try everything?
So that was like when I was a kid, when I first came to America, I didn't know much, but then it's like some few Koreans in the neighborhoods, and
Yeah.
then the things we would do is the 7-Eleven trips, and I remember liking all the things like hot Cheetos. It was like the first time I tried it. I love hot Cheetos.
Oh yeah, they don't exist in Korea.
And I like the hot Cheetos that are like more the straight ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The straight hot Cheetos, and I used to get those rings pops a lot. Yeah, actually, America snacks.
America makes a good candy.
Yeah,
That's one thing we
It's
we
pretty
got
good.
right.
I personally like I tried like all kinds of like junk food like actually, but I think some of the more memorable ones were those like like pop rock candies with like the foot, like it's like a lollipop, but it's like a shape of a foot, and then you like dip it in.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. You like dip in the powder.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
I
are
couldn't have
good.
too much of those. So I used like those on, and those like long sour candies that kind of look like a straw.
Oh yeah.
Those are pretty good too.
I liked Jolly Ranchers actually. Jolly Ranchers go hard.
Yeah. The blue ones, I love.
The small one.
Yeah, they're like a little
actually, I
cinnamon.
didn't like those. Actually,
Really?
I don't know why I did.
Why?
Flavors. They have some good flavors.
Yeah, you got. Although that's the thing, some of the flavors are better than others. That it's certainly true.
Oh, one thing. I don't know why watermelon flavors are called watermelon.
Yeah.
I mean, so weird.
I mean,
when
like,
I first came to America,
all
that
those
was the weirdest thing.
what the artificial flavor like grape flavor.
Artificial grape flavor. I really don't like that flavor.
Yeah,
it's very weird to me.
A lot of heroes that I'll just like never pick, and I'll rather lose than picking those heroes. I don't. Maybe Mercy, I guess.
Mercy?
Yeah, within the support it'll be Mercy. In the tanks, it used to be Diva for me, I think.
How? It's like Diva's so fun. Like how can you say this?
No bias, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say Orisa, pretty rough hero.
Pre-work?
Orisa 1,
Pre-work?
Overwatch 1 Orisa.
Yeah.
Overwatch 2 Orisa goes hard. Like we like Overwatch 2
Yeah,
Orisa.
Overwatch 1 Orisa, I never touched.
Probably, yeah, I think Mercy's probably right in the support category. Just like the least plays you can make on the hero. And then, although I don't hate Mercy actually. I played a little bit of Mercy when the game came out.
No, I like when I play with my friends. I love playing Mercy because I never heal them. I hold my clock out.
Chunk's like the worst Q partner.
태민아 이제 오버워치에서 제일 재미없는 캐릭터 고르는 거야. 이제 메르시랑 오리사 나왔어. 그 오버워치 1 오리사.
오리사.
Orisa. Yeah, for me, like there's only one answer. It's like Overwatch 1 Orisa. Like nothing was like as boring personally. I think the most fun thing was like you put the shield in the basketball and you throw it.
Yeah. I feel like Overwatch 1 Orisa, the only thing that makes it fun is if you're like trying really hard and working with your team. Because the problem with that hero is you're basically only a combo hero. You don't really do much on your own. So you basically have to be playing with friends and like comboing everything together, and then you can have fun. But yeah, the hero's very like defensive and boring in Overwatch 1, so very like limited on your playstyle.
Yeah, it's like the fun comes from the teamwork, not like a character. Like you could be playing anything.
Yeah, at that point, trying hard on any hero is like super fun. So.
Yeah. All right, well that was it for this episode of After the Match presented by HEB. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.